Welcome to another episode of the YYC Real Estate Show. I'm here with Shiraz and Seb. First episode of 2024, boys. Welcome to the new year. Happy New Year, everybody. It's crazy even saying that. 2024.
Yeah. I like it.
I like it. It sounds better than 2023.
Yeah, 2023 sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. That's in the past.
Yeah.
How's it been? How's it been for you guys?
Good. Happy New Year once again to everyone out there, all the viewers. We're very excited to start the new year off. Hopefully all the trends come true, and we're expecting a little frenzy here.
Yeah.
Interest rates coming down, hopefully. That's what they say, but we'll see what happens. Keep a close eye on that. Now that it is a brand new year and a new month, we'll quickly talk about a recap of the year. In fact, I think there was how many sales?
It was 27,416 sales.
27,416 sales for the whole year. Not bad. And then this is what December showed for benchmark price. 570,100. December had 1,366 sales, 1,248 new listings, still low inventory, average 33 days on market, and 1.58 months of supply. For those out there always wondering what months of supply means and how they get that number, that means if no new listings or everything stopped today, it would take 1.58 months to sell everything that's currently listed. So that's what months of supply mean. If you were to stop today,
no more listings.
Yeah,
just whatever was on the
listings. Yeah, that's what that months of supply means. So, go ahead, Zach, if you want to tell everyone out there this little recap.
We're just we said there's 27,416 sales in 2023, which like it says right here, they're a lot higher than what the long-term trends and what people predicted after COVID, after the pandemic. A lot of people, there's obviously a lot of uncertainty in every aspect of the world, but a big thing in Calgary was going to be the housing market. So obviously that's very good that happened. I mean, there's so much uncertainty. We didn't know what was going to be like, what was going to be like there. So it says higher lending rates dampened housing demand this year, but thanks to strong migration levels, housing demand remained relatively strong, especially for affordable options in our market. So obviously the migration plays a big factor in that, and the interest rates are all involved in that. But
and inventory levels, they stayed low throughout the whole year, 44% decline over the 10-year average. And then we also saw that month's supply, which I just explained, remained below 2 months. So months of supply below the 2.0 mark for anything under $1 million.
Yeah.
So it was a good year. It was still a good, strong ending to the year as well.
Yeah.
But remember, we looked at the last episode last week. We looked at what the weekly sales are, and in that last week of December, it was so small, right?
Yeah.
But that's to be expected.
Yeah.
I mean, last year kind of shows everybody that you cannot time the market. You cannot guess what's going to happen. With rising interest rates throughout the whole 2023, we thought house prices are going to go down, right? They should, but they didn't. And we even now have higher benchmark prices than ever in December, right?
Yeah,
even though slowdown in sales.
The record continues to beat itself month after month over the last 7-8 months. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's impossible to time the market. That's all I'm saying.
The market is its own beast, and we must abide by it, and it will speak to you. You must respect it.
Yeah.
To all those out there looking to purchase or even to sell, keep that in mind. You may have a number in your head. You may remember what a neighbor sold for, but yesterday's price is not today's price. The market changes all the time, week to week. So please, reach out to an agent like ourselves to guide you the best way to have a quick sale. You don't want to have your listing stay there and essentially help your competitors sell by being listed too high. And you also may not want to list too low. If you sold right away with competing offers, that means perhaps you listed a little too low, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, with it being the new year, I was wondering about you two. How do you two feel about New Year's resolutions, right? How do you feel about it? It's
you know what? I was joking about this at the gym because I started to see more people.
January 1st.
And I was telling my friends that I always see there at the gym that I just kind of stay away for the first couple weeks.
Yeah.
Because you just see literally almost double the amount of people in there in the first 2 weeks because everyone has their yearly resolution. I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to go back to the gym. And it usually trickles off after a couple of weeks. But no, I mean, this year for, I guess if you ask the question, do you want to answer yourself first?
About what I think about New Year's resolutions?
Yeah.
They're good. They're good if you're going to execute on them, right? But if you don't really, or you're not wholehearted about doing it, don't make them in the first place. You're just going to let yourself down. Yeah. So if you're going to make them, make sure you're going to stick to them and make them reasonable for yourself. Yeah, realistic
make them
for yourself.
Realistic then, right? Don't say I'm going to lose 50 pounds. Maybe you want to say you're going to lose 15, right?
Yeah.
So, how about you, Zach? How do you feel about resolutions as a whole? And
I think like I think they can be good. I think that you can have a resolution any time in the year. I think you can have one in June or July if you need to change and you can realize that. Then I think it's never a bad time. You don't have to wait till if you have something you want to change in August. I don't think you wait to January 1st the next year to change it. I think obviously setting realistic goals or resolutions at any point in your life is very important because I think if you set goals that aren't realistic and you fail those. It's not maybe because you took the wrong steps. It wasn't realistic. And then you fail. Then you're discouraged and you're kind of back to square zero. So I kind of look at resolutions as more of a fresh start than a resolution. I think there's things that you can kind of go into the year with either relationships or people or your work or things that you can kind of realize that you don't want to bring into the next year, but. Resolutions, I think you can have.
I guess lots of people don't think about that. The New Year's resolution could be not about adding stuff, but taking stuff away.
And that's not. Yeah, resolution doesn't mean adding. It could be taking something or realizing how they. And I mean, like it's just a benchmark. It's just looking back on your 2023 years. We all get older. The years pass by. It's like, what did I do this year that helped me? Didn't help me? What could I change? Yeah. So I think it's more reflective to me than it is. Adding resolutions. So
And do you take that time to reflect on last year?
I have. I think I still need to do a lot more. I think we all could do a lot more. It's just the clock turns. It's like a magic wand. There's still time to think, but I think we all have a good New Year's. To me, is kind of like the last day of like the break and the holiday. You kind of do Christmas. I mean, some people work through Christmas. Don't get me wrong, but you're just kind of like now it's kind of back to reality. So. Just to be able to separate yourself and have that time, I think is huge for everybody. So,
definitely.
But even looking at these stats, I kind of want to point they're gone now. But we were talking about just talking about I think it's just crazy just to kind of read that first, just go down a bit there and read that first line about the 27,000 sales and how they're still a lot higher. I think that's a credit to Calgarians and Canadians for being resilient and still not giving up. I mean, for the whole world, COVID and that pandemic time was very scary and very uncertain. So I think that's a huge.
We went against the predictions.
Yeah, we did, which is great, and that's why we all talk. When, like I said, it's Canada and the world as a whole, but Calgary, good job to our viewers. Calgary,
good job, Calgary.
We stepped up, and there's a lot of perseverance needed. But I think those numbers and the success we've all kind of had in our past year shows that nothing's going to get us down from. Yeah. So I just wanted to shout that out. So
it's good. Good time to actively get into real estate, fine-tune your craft in real estate. So, to answer your question on my behalf for resolutions, I think they're a good reset. I think everyone needs a kind of time to reflect on what they did for the whole year. So it's kind of everyone's kind of forced to think about it, and it's a new year. How was your previous year? What do you have planned for the new year? What changes are you going to make? A lot of good business people, they actually look at it by the quarters and see what they do every quarter and make adjustments for the next quarter, and they'll look at their whole year, right? Some people just look at the whole year, but regardless, as long as you are evaluating and looking and improving, that's all you can ask for, right?
Yeah.
So I do like the resolutions. I do like a reset. I do like having goals, so I like it. Some people don't even pay attention and don't care. It's just another date to them, right? So
yeah, no, for sure. How do you guys want to be better realtors in 2024? What's one thing you guys could all do, or we could all do?
I mean, you can't go wrong with having better systems, better follow-up systems for previous clients and potential clients.
Yeah,
I think definitely having a more structured system for follow-ups would be better.
Yeah.
Right. Like there is like the structure, right, where you fall put them this and this and that. But I think I could improve that quite a bit. Definitely lots of room for improvement there.
I like that too.
Yeah, I would say get everything in writing. I've been accustomed to. I've been accustomed to, handshake deals and good faith and being a person of your word. But that's kind of hurt me on a few deals recently in the last couple months. Not a big deal, not a deal killer, but definitely a hurdle that can easily be avoided. Yeah. Just because someone says they're going to do something, unless it's in writing, it's not enforceable. So just get everything in writing, no matter how nice the other side is. Protect yourself and your clients, and make sure you get everything in writing. Do it in a polite way. Because again, sometimes people will get offended too. Oh, you don't trust me? We already talked about this. Why do you need it in writing? Just say it's to protect both sides, right?
Yeah.
So for me, I'm just going to be a little more diligent on every little detail. And then again, even things I got a walkthrough this morning. Thankfully, it was successful. However, during a walkthrough, we talk about it all the time. This is your one and only time to put a holdback in place, but it must be in writing, and dollar amounts must be written with the holdbacks.
Yeah.
It has to be in writing. It has to be part of the contract. It has to be a dollar amount. We can't say do a holdback because there's a lot of stuff in the garage and we're not going to pay to have this sent to the junkyard.
Yeah.
You can't just say, oh, do a holdback of 1,000. There has to be in writing as part of the contract. So since, closing is tomorrow and you do a walkthrough, you can do an amendment for that stuff and put in a holdback amount, right? So.
Yeah, and
that's the bell.
Yeah, and that's the bell. Yeah.
No,
I don't know if you guys heard that on your end, but this office is hooked up to the fire alarm for the front doorbell. Yeah. Right. So whenever someone wants to come in, they have to ring the fire alarm.
I'm just wondering if there ever is a fire.
Yeah, we're just gonna take
it
seriously. Just the front doorbell. No, but holdbacks have to be not only they have to be specific, right? They have to have the dates. And they also have to say, if you want to, like, I'm going to hold back $1,000 for this washing machine to be replaced, put in the brand, the type of washing machine.
Or who fixes it. Not like if someone needs to be fixing the house, is your local handyman, your uncle, is it
with proof of receipt.
A receipt, with the company. So
that's why a lot of times in offers you'll see professional cleaning with receipt, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So no, it was really cool experience. It was really nice to see a sense of strong community this morning in Strathmore. Doing the walkthrough and us just showing up and doing the walkthrough. When we were done and we came outside, the seller actually was there to make sure we had a good walkthrough and answer any questions and exchange numbers with my client, the buyer, to build a rapport there and kind of for mail and any questions.
Makes it so much easier.
I mean, so much nicer and easier. It was really, really good. I really wish all of them were that nice and seamless. But what I meant by it was really nice to see such a strong sense of community out there in Strathmore this morning was when we were done and we came out, 4 neighbors from their houses came out to, introduce themselves, welcome my clients to the neighborhood, to the street, come say hi, take our number. So it just, I was like, wow, this is a really, really nice,
warm welcome.
Yeah, it was really nice to see. Like we take possessions all day, every day here, and everyone just kind of looks out their window, split second to see who's there. Is it in my Amazon delivery? No, okay.
Yeah.
So no one's gonna come out and say hi, right?
Sounds like Shiraz is moving to Strathmore.
Prices are good. That was a detached house, fully finished, renovated, double garage, backs onto a walking path that leads to green space.
Nice.
$435.
Wow.
So
did you say detached?
Detached house.
That's good.
Very nice, treed lot. Bigger lots, right? It was. I mean, if you can justify and get over 40-kilometer drive into Calgary, you can save. What's the benchmark price? $570. Yeah, you can save $140,000, right?
Yeah, and as Calgary grows, those other small towns and places around Calgary also.
Well, it was insane. I did not expect when we were shopping and looking in Strathmore for it to be just as crazy as Calgary.
Yeah.
I was going to go show 5 houses. Before we could get to the 5, 2 were gone. We saw the 3. When we liked one of the 3, I make the phone call. Sorry, I'm about to mark it pending. It's gone too. So all 5 from the first round that we went out to see, all gone. before we could even
Yeah.
make an offer.
Yeah.
So we had to start from scratch and wait for new ones to come up, and then jump on one that checked most of their boxes. And lucky we were able to make a deal happen. But I was just like, wow, even here in Strathmore, it was a hot market a month ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wow, that's crazy. Good for them. Well, that's good. Everyone's happy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go there for the possession tomorrow and say hi to all the neighbors again. Give my business card to them.
Nice.
Definitely.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's great, yeah. But apart from that, anything exciting happening for you two in 2024? Any big plans?
Concentrate on more listings, fellas.
Yeah.
I have one next week. New build in Glendale. I have a listing presentation tomorrow, Salisbury, and pending on my apartment finally, the West Hillhurst one.
Yes.
So those out there, that was a long time on the market, and the biggest hurdle there was there are absolutely no pets allowed in this condominium building, and that's a big hurdle for most Calgarians, as we all, like I would say 70-80% of the people out there have a furry family member.
Yeah.
So to not be allowed to have a cat or a dog,
which is kind of interesting.
they won't even it won't even come across their search criteria, right?
Yeah.
So, I'm sure for some people that's a selling point too. But
if you're an investor, I would say. If you're looking to rent
not
it.
necessarily. Because like if you're looking to rent it, and most renters do have animals, you really do restrict yourself to the person.
But I'm saying how it would be advantageous to a landlord, it would be, I don't ever have to worry about a pet damaging anything. There's no pets allowed, right?
Yeah. But a lot of places nowadays charge $50 a month extra for having a pet, and they have to give a deposit for that pet as well.
And be careful too. There's a board approval. You know, like you have to get your pet approved by the board. So, you know, I'm writing an offer on, and he has a medium to large dog. That's a strict criteria. And it says board approval. So before you go ahead and make that offer, go the extra step for your client, call the management company and confirm with them that, hey, is a Rottweiler allowed in this building, right?
Yeah.
So
one of the funniest ones I've seen was it said that the dog has to be smaller than 10 inches from its stomach to the ground. Like if you measured the dog, like I know I thought it was very weird.
Train your dog to like army crouch.
Put them on a diet or
I
something.
mean, it does kind of make sense if it's not going to be that big, right? But I mean, that's a pretty weird one.
That's weird.
Yeah, just get your dog nice and fat before they measure him.
And you know what's surprising? There's so many special assessments. Like all these buildings that I've been looking into the last 2 months, so many we walked away from. 6 separate buildings all have special assessments, ranging from the 1970s all the way to as new as 2006. All have special assessments for one thing or the other. So, you know,
could just be a coincidence.
Yeah, for those out there, I'm sure we've talked about it, but a special assessment is when there's not enough money in the reserve fund for a condominium complex when the repair is needed. So they need to issue a special assessment, which literally just means you get a bill, each person in that building in the mail. You cannot avoid it or dispute it. If you do, it just becomes part of your land title. So the only way to avoid it is to stay there forever. But even then, it stays on the land title. So if it was an estate sale after, it would still be on there. So there's no way around getting away from special assessments. And it can be as big as the biggest one we were looking at was $13,000. Each person had to pay. And then small ones of $1,500 to each person. Yeah. So
when a special assessment comes in, how much time do they have to pay?
So normally there is a date on there.
Yeah.
And for example, I'll give you one example. Most recently, it's split into 4 equal payments over the next 2 years. So 2 in 2024, 2 in 2025 by each owner in this condominium complex to pay for the special assessment that got allocated to everyone.
Yeah.
So and it can be from redoing the roof, replacing the balconies, redoing the windows.
The pool floods the building.
Or the pool floods the building.
The terrace rooftop pool floods the building.
Yeah.
I've seen where they have to do a special assessment on the balconies, for example.
Yeah.
And they'll do the special assessment, the owners have to pay, but then the condo board will sue the builder and the architect because they've designed it poorly and they have to replace them. So sometimes you'll do the special assessment and actually get money back after the whole.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
That's really rare though.
Yeah.
My advice, if anyone wants to invest in an apartment, try to get it as new as possible if you can, and look to gain equity and sell and move up, 4 to 5 years. So get something as new as possible so you're not around for potential large, expensive maintenance bills, right? Which can cause a special assessment. If it's managed great and they do a good job, there should be more than enough in the reserve fund to cover all this anticipated costs. When you do a condo document review, they look at all this and tell you like, hey, you're going to have something in the next 10 years, 20 years from now, they're going to redo this. This is how much is in the reserve fund. This is how much is going into it every month. So they give you a good snapshot of where this building is and how it's been managed. So always get a condo document review. It's essentially an inspection, right?
Yeah.
Do you guys know about in-floor heating in apartments instead of baseboard heating or water heating? So that's what I have in West Hillhurst.
Yeah, because those are funny because
I had buyers come in and interested, and they're like, "Wait, I don't see any vents. Where's the heat coming from?" I said it's in-floor heating, and they're like, "Feeling the floor? What do you mean?" I'm just like, "It is in-floor heating. You turn the temperature up.
Actually, a lot of new apartments are doing that, right? Because usually when you buy an apartment, the heat and water are included with the condo fees, right?
Yeah.
But they'll have heat and water included in the common areas, right? And your apartment. But then the heating for your apartment will be electrical. And that's always off your electrical bill. So technically you're paying for heating at that point too. Yeah. Right? So that's something that's just kind of curious. It's like they found a way to get people to pay for the heating as well.
Yeah, you're right. Because even on this, the condo fee a month clearly states that heat is part of it, but there's a fireplace with natural gas, so that's part of that too. But yeah, that's a good point that it would come off their electricity bill, which is not included.
Yeah. And okay. Well, it's a new year. It's exciting.
Yeah.
2024. Hope you guys have a great year.
I'm excited. You guys should be excited too.
Yeah. Anything, Zach, you wanna?
No.
Zach, take it away here.
Take it away.
No, I think, like I said, we talked about the resolutions. I think everybody's goal, like every day you wake up or every year you go into, should be to be a bit better. Like Kobe Bryant, be 1% better, a little bit better every day.
Yeah.
Whether that's your home life, your social life, your job, anything like that, your health. I think this is a big step. I think this is going to be a big year for us, the three of us. I think it's going to be a big step for the YYC Real Estate Show, our personal business, and I'm excited to see where it takes off. So
me too.
We'll have the same video going 2025, and you know what? Things are gonna be a lot different then. So I'm happy about that.
All right. Till next one.
See you next week.
Thanks for watching.
Why'd you clap then if we have to wait?
Yeah.
Because that's just to sync up the audio and the visual, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's not about when we're starting.
That's what we always thought.
No way, really?
Yeah. We're like, we don't start until he claps.
Nothing to do about when you're starting. It's just to sync up the audio and visual, yeah.
Well, on that note, then
clap again and we'll start.
Because it's going to be tradition.